All right, let's kick into this. So we're gonna go back and forth. We've made quite a list here of what I think are exciting and very, very interesting opportunities in both the worlds of business and investing. I'm gonna take first crack here, and I think one of the biggest opportunities in 2023, and this is a business one, is TikTok ads. Now, it's come up quite a lot in our podcast, and like I think in one episode I even wore the TikTok hat that TikTok.
You definitely did. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to lay out the opportunity, and then I'm going to talk about how the potential is to play it in this one here. So, in the world of social media, there's a strategy that's been deployed, which is called have them over for lunch and eat them for dinner. And what it means by that is that for every new social media platform, what they do initially is they let everyone on the platform and then they give them a lot of reach for free, right? So this is just like a drug dealer who gives away, their hit
free samples.
Initially. Yeah, free samples. And if you think back, right, this is like Facebook. Like organically having a Facebook page used to be a really good strategy. And then over time, what happens is these platforms need to make money. There's only so long they can give away free samples. And eventually what happens is that they start to introduce ads. And then those ads get more and more expensive. And then we see something more like what Google AdWords has today, where that's a more mature platform. Not to say that it's going anywhere, but Google Ads is not the opportunity, or search ads more specifically. It was once upon a time. Like if you were one of the early people on Google Ads, like I remember buying mortgage broker, the word mortgage broker as a click for like 2 cents. It's like $20 today. And that's the evolution it goes through.
I remember buying health insurance related for like $67 a click. That was when it was way too late to use it.
Completely. So if you look at that and believe in these cycles, which is the same thing that happened, Google did it, then it's Facebook, then it was Instagram, right? Then it was YouTube, or it might have been YouTube before Instagram, but somewhere in that region of how it works. Those platforms have really started to mature and are actually expensive for people to be found, where TikTok, because of its newer nature, has been able to create an environment where not only is the organic reach quite strong compared to other platforms, but then the ads platform is super cheap. And I've specifically mentioned this as the ads platform. So across this year, I've ran quite a few tests where I've taken the same piece of content and I've run it as a Facebook ad. So this would be a short video. And then I've also run it as a TikTok ad. And I'm seeing a difference in cost of traffic of about 10 times. So if I could buy a click on Facebook in this example, realizing that not everyone who listens to this show is into media buying world like I am, so I'm trying to keep it in terms that are relative, you can get 10 times the bang for your buck on TikTok ads than you can Facebook right now. So if you are a business that is suitable for the TikTok platform, I think it's very merited and warranted to consider injecting more of your marketing dollars in TikTok ads. I think it is a huge opportunity in that way. And I also think for adding a business layer to this, if you're the type of business like the one we have, Valor Media here, which we work on to produce and grow podcasts, align your services with that trend. And I think you will have a particularly strong year on that front. And like that's what we're actually planning to do. So not only do I think this is a huge opportunity for businesses in 2023, if the platform is right for your type of business, it won't work for every business. But I see the businesses that support this style of content and media are going to do quite well and backing it with our own horse here.
It's an interesting observation because I've looked at the TikTok data. It's me. I always look at that kind of stuff. And it's fascinating how quick their growth is into, more mature people. So most, like my personal opinion was going, this is like 16, 18-year-olds, maybe 20-year-olds, kind of like the new
like dance videos, right?
Completely. Like let's go and dance and do all these pointy things and stuff like that. But then they've started doing things that appeal to like the older generations. Then it went to like 20s, 25s, 30s. And as someone in his 30s, I'm now looking at this thing going, there's actually an appeal for the information that I want to consume. And like not all of it is dancing people and people pointing. There's actually quite a lot of summarized educational information around various things, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, whether it's operations. Like it seems like this is the greatest way for someone to articulate a point in a very short way. And I don't know what they're doing, but they are hitting this older generation hard, fast, and it's showing within the ads that we're running, but it's also showing in like their user stats that they share to us. So I'm like, what? I never thought so many older people would have dove into this platform.
It's interesting in the idea that what I see is like basically millennials are down, and even some Gen X, to be honest, are on there.
Yep.
But do you know what I really have felt across this year? That TikTok is kind of like Bitcoin. And I'll express how. It's like people are skeptical, right? And eventually they hear something or see something and like, oh, I'll give it a little go. And then once they're in it, it's like they're in it. They become like the believers. And that's how I feel I am. I feel like I was like, oh, this TikTok thing, it's just another Clubhouse. I'm not even going to worry with this.
Another Periscope.
Tumblr, MySpace, whatever it is. Like this platform's just going to fail, and it's like it has it, and then eventually you give it a go, and then you're like, hang on, like why were we not doing this earlier? And I'm not at all advocating Bitcoin. I just want to make that very clear. It's like I'm just more to the idea that the type of person is like they're skeptical, and then once they come inside and try it, that they get the idea of there's more than to be seen, right? More than the surface level that comes here.
Yeah, and to that point, that is like that land and expand component. It's like they incentivize people to create their own content. And as you said, reach is fantastic, especially for new users. And then it's just this self-fulfilling prophecy where it's like, oh, we're just going to keep feeding you back. But then as they get more users, people get more views, and it is just this huge flywheel that I think the cat's out of the bag. I don't think you can push this thing back in the bag. I'm curious, do you rate that higher than you rate like Elon Musk stepping into like Twitter ads and try to fix up their targeting?
Some interesting insights for me is so I think you have to look at the nature of how people consume on a platform. And I'll give you an example is like Facebook and Twitter are scroll distraction platforms. Like you go on there to scroll through and read and look at images potentially, or even some video. Where if you think about like TikTok and YouTube, they're consumption. You go there to consume something. So this was one of the really things that kind of threw my hair back or if I had some. Wait, for anyone listening to the audio, I have luscious hair.
Golden locks.
I couldn't, and this is one of the things that's interesting is like what TikTok have really done is like they've kind of made it like they've taken a really cool thing about YouTube where it's a consumption platform. People go there to watch video. That's what they're there to do. So they're consuming things, not scrolling and reading, but consuming video. But then they've also taken the advertising features of Facebook.
Yeah.
Where YouTube doesn't have that same type of thing. So it's kind of like hybriding them. And I think that's been what has been very interesting for me is a lot of things I used to run as Facebook ads have now become more effective as a YouTube ad when it comes to media. And fun fact, right? And hopefully people have seen these. The short clips we actually make for this podcast that we do run as ads, TikTok ads have actually been our second biggest factor of growth this year. And I think and to really go speculatively, I think we've got 2 more years of good times where it's going to be incredibly cheap because a lot of people won't be on the platform. And like that's a move I want to take full advantage of, and I encourage others to as well. There's plenty for everyone.
Especially as they're increasing in users. It's like this first mover advantage. So if you were, selling an e-commerce store selling like hair extensions to like 16, 18-year-old girls or something like that, like TikTok ads were like a year, 2 years ago. Right, because they were all just hammering it. But now if you're like a B2B service, like the statistics, like we're seeing more reach get out to more people every week. And I'm like, there is nothing more than more users going on this platform within this area. Because we target specific ages, we target specific interests, we target all these specific things. And the reach is just there. I'm seeing something, Charlie. So I agree with you. I like this point. TikTok ads. I'm for it. I concur.
Well, you would be hard not to be biased in the idea that it's worked for us on this. We are biased, right? But it's our podcast. We get to be biased, and this is an opportunity we see.
Hey, fellow business owner. If this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.